Hello and welcome to another episode of Bekku Movies. So, regarding the Snyderverse, if it's gonna be restored, who should be the main directors? I'll go through them very briefly. Obviously, David Ayer for any possible Suicide Squad sequels, but first they need to release his original Ayer cut because it has extra scenes of Batman, Ben Affleck, and all the stuff, and the other actors. Obviously, the Joker by Jared Leto. Just give the guy a chance. Let's see how he acts as Joker, because again, he will have a role in the Justice League sequels. So David Ayer is a must for his cut. Definitely, he should be the one finishing that cut. And regarding any possible sequels, I would say either him, maybe Joe Carnahan, someone like that who directed The Rip. But as a director for any possible Suicide sequels, I think he's the best one, because we all saw what James Gunn did with his Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad, which was a horrible movie, by the way, and that guy was supposed to be the best one because he is good in directing misfits and misunderstood heroes and all this stuff, and he ruined these characters. And David Ayer, to be honest, knows how to direct action. James Gunn doesn't know how to direct action, and his movies really appeared like it belonged in the Snyderverse. And even his Suicide Squad movie, which are a bunch of unknown characters, made crap loads of money. And like I said, I like the action. I even like the way that he dealt with Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman. It felt like it's part of the same universe. He didn't change the outfit, all this stuff. I wonder if... Oh yeah, he had some scenes with Bruce Wayne as well, with Amanda Waller, in that cool ass scene, the post-credit scene in Suicide Squad. So he knows how to direct action. He knows how to direct the Snyderverse actors. So definitely David Ayer for any possible Suicide Squad sequels. And of course, for the Superman Part 2, or Man of Steel Part 2, Man of Tomorrow, whatever it's going to be called, it has to be Christopher McQuarrie. It's not just this guy is amazing with action, steadicam action. He sounds like a proper nerd, you know what I mean? He's worked with Henry Cavill, obviously, in Mission Impossible Fallout, which was the biggest one financially, and he dealt with Henry Cavill's character very well. He gave him cool ass action scene. I did not like that they killed him at the end of the movie, but that's a different story. Anyway, and also he was going to give the fans, Henry Cavill even said that, the hopeful, optimistic Superman. As I've said before, you need that before Justice League sequels, because Superman will go really dark in these sequels when he comes to the anti-life equation and all the stuff, unless they change the storyline, which I doubted. But yeah, so Christopher McQuarrie is a must. Okay, he knows how to do action. Like I said, no shaky cam. And even the score for the Mission Impossible movies, he had, what's his name, Lorne Balfe to do the scores. Amazing scores. I wouldn't say no if he scores Man of Steel 2, but keep the essence of the iconic Hans Zimmer score. You have to, man. And for the love of God, do not change the suit. We do not want any arguments about suits and stuff and whatever. Maybe like a quick cameo or a joke about wearing his underwear on the outside, just to give the man children what they want. But you need Man of Steel 2 with Christopher McQuarrie, because we need that hopeful, optimistic Superman. Maybe one or two movies would be helpful if it's possible before he comes to the anti-life equation and goes all dark and evil and all this stuff. So we need that movie, and I want to see Christopher McQuarrie, and he's already written the movie, so this is all saves on cost, so easy production. And of course, for the freaking Ben Affleck Batman movie, if the legend himself, Ben Affleck, cannot direct this movie, or it's difficult to be a director, he's already written the movie, obviously, but I'm guessing he's going to be a producer as well through artist equity. It's going to be difficult to be all these things and at the same time starring in the movie and directing. So I wouldn't mind seeing Gavin O'Connor. I've said this before. He directed him in The Accountant Part 1 and 2. Amazing action in Part 1. Part 2, not so much. And also he directed him in The Way Back, which was a good movie as well. So Gavin O'Connor would be perfect. And again, he sounds like a proper nerd. I think he was supposed to be directing Suicide Squad Part 2, or at some point Gotham City Sirens. But I think it was Suicide Squad Part 2. So again, he sounds like a proper nerd, knows the stuff, and because WB wanted a comedy, he said no to them at the time. but I don't think he would say no to Batman movie, especially if it's starring Ben Affleck, if it's gonna be produced by Matt Damon through Artist Equity. That's gonna be an amazing team, man. Because whenever Ben Affleck is comfortable in his life and stuff, he makes amazing movies. So for this one, definitely Gavin O'Connor. After seeing The Rip, which is a movie on Netflix, I would say Joe Carnahan as well, but I think Gavin O'Connor, especially the way what he did with The Accountant, which sounds like a superhero movie anyway, by the way. I think he would be perfect for this movie. Again, knows how to direct action, no shaky cams, knows how to do characters as well and thrillers. So he would be perfect to direct the Batman movie, unless Ben Affleck, says, you know what, if it's my production company with the help of Matt Damon, I'll direct the movie myself. Who would say no to a Ben Affleck Batman movie? And of course, for Justice League 2, I mean, you don't even have to give nominees or whatever. It's the man, the myth, the legend, Zack freaking Snyder. To be honest, I had doubts about him because it's difficult to do Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and then Justice League and nail all three movies, and he nailed all three movies, especially BVS and Justice League, especially when Ben Affleck joined with Chris Terrio as script writer. So it has to be Zack Snyder. Has to be. I mean, even the previous options I've given you, I would say yes and no on the directors, Joe Carnahan instead of Gavin O'Connor for Batman movie, but for Justice League 2, has to be, without any shadow of the doubt, has to be Zack Snyder. He knows how to direct ensemble movies, especially if he has a good writer like Chris Terrio. Like I said, you can even have good producers like him, Christopher Nolan. He would bring always an A team to produce these movies. Even I think Ben Affleck produced the last Justice League movie. So I cannot see any other director doing that and trying to finish his story. And afterwards they can do Flashpoint, whatever. But for Justice League has to be Zack Snyder, man. And just get the same team you worked with on BVS. Justice League was amazing, but BVS was legendary with action, with cinematography. Just get that same team for BVS for your Justice League movie. Yeah, for this option, I cannot see any other director. Maybe he can co-direct it, for example, with someone else, like Ben Affleck or Nolan, whatever, because it's a big movie. But I think what he did with Justice League Part 1, if he can do it again with Part 2 and 3, yeah, that would be amazing. And these are my directors for the Snyderverse restoration. Becco Movies out.